Alright, this is IMAX Nation 1980 here with another upcoming Disney Thoughts video. Now, I've already covered what's coming out this year, and Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides just came out and I saw it. I'll offer a review on that some other time, but I went over everything that was coming out and this year. Pirates, Cars 2, The Muppets, the new Toy Story short film, plus the other one that'll be debuting before The Muppets. And I might have left out some releases for 2011, maybe some minor ones like Real Steel. That counts as a Disney release because that's part of the DreamWorks Touchstone deal there, along with I Am Number 4. I saw that film and it was mediocre, I think. I mean, it had its moments, but it would have worked better as a made-for-television film. I don't know about Real Steel. I don't really think I want to see that. I mean, I know it's based on a story by Richard Matheson, and he was the man who wrote Duel, which would be Steven Spielberg's film there that he did for television, made for television. Great film, by the way. If you haven't seen it, check it out someday. But it pretty much, it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It's just a boxing movie, but with robots. I don't know, but from that new trailer that was shown before Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, I think I'm going to skip that one. And of course, for November, Disney has The Muppets, and for December, Buena Vista, well, actually, I don't know, I don't think they don't use Buena Vista anymore, but I think Disney is also distributing Steven Spielberg's War Horse, which I think is supposed to open December 28th, but I haven't seen any trailers or promotions or anything. And I find it kind of weird that it would be opening 5 days after Spielberg's anticipated The Adventures of Tintin. Now, there's a trailer for that out now, and I'm going to go see that because I've read the comics. I'm well aware of who Tintin is, but I have a feeling War Horse will be pushed to 2012. So in these next couple of videos, I'll be covering what's coming out in 2012 and beyond. The rest of Disney's 2011 schedule includes The Help, Fright Night. I don't know way too much about those. I have a feeling those are going to be small releases. They both come out in August within a week of each other. And then they're going to be re-releasing The Lion King in 3D on September 16th. I might as well just go see that because, I mean, I know the Blu-ray's coming out in October, but I've never seen The Lion King in the movie theaters because when it came out, I was a little too young to go to the movies. I was probably like 1.5 years old or something, so that'll be my first, possibly only time I'll be seeing it in the movie theaters. And in 3D, who knows what they'll do with it. I mean, I know some people are getting sick of the 3D craze, but who knows? They can work wonders with it, or it can just be a cheap conversion just for the sake of cash grabs. Disney will start off with a film called Arrietty in 2012, actually, the release date here is February 17th. This is a 2010 Japanese animated film from Studio Ghibli. Of course, Hayao Miyazaki's films like Spirited Away. But this is not a Miyazaki film. It was directed by Hiromasa Yonbayashi. I hope I pronounced that right, but it will be getting a general release here in the United States. I have a feeling they're going to do they're going to release it and market it the same way as they did with Ponyo a couple of years back. The film will probably not make that much money, but it will probably get pretty good reviews. Opening March 9th, 2012 is John Carter of Mars. Now, some people have mistaken this as a Pixar film. I don't think it's... Let me check. Because I know Andrew Stanton of Finding Nemo is going to be directing it. Apparently, it's going to be a co-production between Pixar and Jerry Bruckheimer. States on Wikipedia, but you never know. And it's going to be a big-budget epic, and it's slated for, a March release. So they're hoping that maybe it can pull an Alice in Wonderland or such. IMDb also states that it's a co-production between Jerry Bruckheimer Films and Pixar. It has a chance of being a really epic film, and if it's a box office smash, which hopefully it will be if it's a good film, they can start a new franchise with this. But of course, I'd really like Disney to stick to more original films and just franchising everything, like they're doing with Pirates and all that. I'd like them to focus on more original films. Anyways, John Carter of Mars, I think it's been shortened to just John Carter now, should be a big budget epic. I remember for one time it was scheduled for a June release, but to avoid competition with Pixar's Brave, they had to move it up to March. Following that will be Chimpanzee, Earth Day 2012, another Disney nature film. Of course, the big Disney event for 2012 is the Avengers. Of course, now that Disney owns Marvel, the Avengers will be a Disney release, not a Paramount release like Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America, the First Avenger. I've seen both Iron Mans and Thor, along with The Incredible Hulk, which was Universal Pictures. I liked them all, particularly Iron Man was my favorite of the bunch, the original. And, Thor was really good too, along with The Incredible Hulk. Iron Man 2 was good, but it was a little inconsistent. Anyways, the Avengers should be a huge event. I expected to do Iron Man 1 numbers. I think it should have a really big opening. Of course, they're hyping it up. Of course, Captain America is coming out July 15th. No, July 22nd. Sorry about that. Harry Potter comes out July 15th. When Captain America comes out, it'll most likely be a big success. Hopefully. It would be nice to see, all those films do well, because Thor did very well, and so did Hulk. Hulk could have done better at the box office, but I think it's because the 2003 film, wasn't as well liked, so it probably might have affected the 2008 Hulk. Who knows? But I do predict that the Avengers will be a smash hit, if done correctly, or else it will have a huge opening then drop like a rock. I understand that the anticipation for the Avengers must be through the roof. It's probably one of the most anticipated films of 2012, along with The Dark Knight Rises and a couple others. It's got to live up to even the wildest of expectations in order to do really good business. But if it lives up to enough expectations, you can expect a hit. I don't know if this film will hit $400 million at the box office. And I don't know this yet, but is it going to be in 3D? Because I haven't checked. It might be because Thor and Captain America were in 3D, even though, Iron Man 2 was not in 3D, and that came out, during the 3D craze after Avatar. So who knows? But I expect the Avengers to be a huge hit domestically and overseas. And I hope it lives up to expectations. A crossover, can either be really good or it can be a huge misfire. So post what you think of the Avengers. Are you excited for it or are you worried about it? I know Joss Whedon will be directing the film. So I think he'll probably do a good job with it, as he's very good with ensemble casts and all that. So hopefully he can bring a good movie. He could do a really good job with the Avengers. If it's on par with the first Iron Man, and I think Iron Man was such a great film, it had such high quality, and then Avengers will be alright with me. After the Avengers comes Disney and Pixar's Brave. Of course, that's coming out July 22nd, 2012. And there's been some concept art revealed, and we're going to get the teaser for the film before Cars 2. When the teaser does come out, I might just do a thoughts video on that, or combine it with my Cars 2 review. But Brave is already sounding like a really good Pixar film. I know some might have been underwhelmed by the fact that Pixar went straight for Cars 2, which might seem like an obvious cash grab, but I think Brave will be a good film because, it's Pixar trying something new. Every film they've tried something different, and this time they're opting to do a fairy tale, more of a fantasy film. They said it's going to be kind of gritty. I guess what they mean by gritty is it's going to be a little dark, more in line with the Grimm fairy tales. Hopefully it kind of, because I think the old Disney films like Snow White and Pinocchio, they were wonderful and they were dark and had scary moments in them. I hope Brave is kind of like that, because I thought some of the more modern Disney fairy tales were lacking in the scary stuff. I mean, it's not what's in the film, it's how it's told, but I'd like to see Brave be a kind of a freaky, kind of a spooky fairy tale with some dark elements in it. I have a feeling it will be, and that comes out June 22nd, 2012. They revealed the first image of the main character, Princess Merida. I think that's how you say it. Forgive me for not being able to pronounce the names and all that, because they just provide a description. I've never actually heard somebody say the name of the character, but the animation in the clip, not the clip, but the picture, the background of the forest, it already looks good. I mean, we should be getting in the teaser, we should get a good idea of what the animation's going to look like. And it's going to be in 3D. I mean, pretty much since Up, every Pixar film will be in 3D. And I predict this will be a big film overseas due to the fairy tale setting. Usually those kinds of films catch on overseas. You see, something like Cars didn't catch on overseas because they had an American setting. But if you give something like Up or Ratatouille, which were either international setting or more universal, then it will catch on overseas. Hopefully Brave will live up to the other Pixar films and be another home run. And I'm hoping Cars 2 will be that way as well. Following Brave, Tim Burton's Frankenweenie, coming out October 5th, 2012. I heard that it's going to be in stop motion. I'm pretty excited about that because, much like Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride, it's nice to see stop motion, from time to time. And of course, it's based on his 1984 film Frankenweenie. And, that's a bonus feature on the Nightmare Before Christmas DVD. I forget if it was on the Blu-ray or not. Hopefully that will turn out to be pretty good. Coming November 2nd, 2012, is Reboot Ralph. Originally, Monsters University, the sequel to Monsters, Inc., had that date, but they swapped the release dates, and now Reboot Ralph has it. It'll be the 52nd Disney full-length animated feature coming after Winnie the Pooh. And I don't know if it's going to be hand-drawn or if it's going to be CGI. I hope it's hand-drawn, because you know me. I'm all for Disney making a comeback with hand-drawn animation. And I don't know if they're really going to succeed at that, because given how Princess and the Frog did and how Winnie the Pooh just did overseas, and there's a possibility of that film failing over here. I don't know. I don't know if Disney really is confident in traditional hand-drawn animation. But hopefully Reboot Ralph will be a hand-drawn film. Even if it's not hand-drawn, all I care about is that it's a good film. It reminds me of an idea that Disney canceled a long time ago called Joe Jump. I think that film had something to do with video games or something. It was a long time ago, and I forget, but I'll probably post on annotations what that canceled project would have been about. And, you're probably wondering what happened to King of the Elves. Did Disney bring that back yet? They did, but right now they don't know when that's going to come out. Perhaps 2013 or 2014 maybe. Disney is also planning on doing an animated film based on Terry Pratchett's Discworld. That can be decent, I guess. I haven't read those books, but, it's nice when Disney branches out and tries out source material like that. Hopefully they'll deliver a good film, and hopefully that'll be hand-drawn as well. So far, that's what they got for 2012. They also announced today that The Lone Ranger is scheduled for December 21st, 2012. Anyways, Lone Ranger is supposed to be a Jerry Bruckheimer production. They'll probably, that could go either way. It's going to be a holiday tentpole, I guess. It's meant to be the Christmas blockbuster, so we can only imagine how that's going to do. Right now, there's not too much info on it, but that's all we know for now.